All right, momentum and impulse. That's the unit we're going to talk about, and the first lesson we're going to talk about momentum and conservation of momentum, and the next lesson will be about impulse. And also, just a reminder, don't forget to take those mini quizzes that I post in the description for every lesson there is. All right, in the last year or so, I've been doing that. That's for you to basically test your understanding of the lesson and more practice. All right, let's start. What is momentum? Momentum is the quantity of motion an object has. The momentum notation is P, and it's a Latin that it's basically piteri, I think that's how you pronounce it, which means to go towards. Okay, that's what it means. And we use P so that it differentiates between any other things. And it's a small p, it's not a capital P. The momentum unit is kilogram meters per second because you have mass and you have the velocity. Okay, and also understand that momentum is a vector. That means direction matters. Now let's talk about conservation of momentum. In any isolated system, that means there should be no external forces acting on it. You have possibly two situations. One is called an elastic collision, and the other one is called the inelastic collision. Okay, inelastic is first, elastic is next one. Inelastic collision is that objects stick together. Elastic collisions means object bounce. And momentum usually is been used for in terms of the collision analysis and the kinematics of collision. Now remember that momentum also is part of, again, the quantity of motion. Now the conservation of momentum based on these two definition of the collisions is that the momentum before and momentum after a possible collision or some kind of a explosion or anything else has to be the same in an isolated system. So the formula for main momentum was mv, mass times velocity of that object. Well, the formula for initial momentum, you have m1v1i and m2v2i. Those are the initial velocity for the possible two objects hitting each other. And then those two initial value for momentum must equal to the sum of the final momentum. All right, so that's what the final velocity for the first object and the final velocity second object, and of course you multiply them with the masses, okay, if there are two different objects. All right, now this usually applies to three possible types of interaction: collision, explosion, and recoil problems. Okay, all right, now let's start with few examples. Example one, you got a 1.2 kg ball moves at 8.0 meters per second. We want to find its momentum, and momentum again, P is equal to mv. We know that m is equal to 1.2 kg, and we know velocity is equal to 8.0 meters per second. Plug numbers in, so the momentum is 1.2 kg times 8.0 meters per second, 9.6 kilogram meters per second. That is the momentum of this object. All right, let's look at another question. This example is about conservation of momentum. So we have a 900 kg car moving at 12 meters per second, rear ends a 1200 kg car at rest. They stick together, find their final velocity. Here we go. Let's write out what we do know. So we're going to list everything that we do know. So here are all the informations we got from the problem. And the part that I need you to pay attention to is that the second car is at rest. So the before the collision or initial, I call it V1i and V2i for the initial velocity for the first object, and then first car, and then second car. So for first one, 12 meters per second, second one is 0 meters per second because it's at rest. And then when they stick together, remember, elastic and inelastic collision. So this one is the inelastic collision. They stick together. So what happens is that you add up the masses for the after the collision. So here you go, 2100 kg. I just added m1 and m2, and then we want to find the final velocity. Here is the conservation of momentum formula. Okay, momentum before a collision must equal to momentum after collision in an isolated system, and suppose that this is an isolated system. Okay, now let's write it all up. What is the momentum before? Basically, now we're going to rewrite as m1 v1i plus m2 v2i is equal to, and then the mass 3, I'm going to call it m3 v final. Okay, now we're going to plug in the values in here and then solve for v final because we have everything that we need to work on. Okay, here it is. Now you can see that I just have one term in here. Well, the reason is that the v2i, this is 0 because the velocity is 0, so I don't have to add 0 to the first term. So here it is. That's the equation that we have. We are solving for v final. Divide both sides by 2100. Here we go. Divide both sides by 2100, and you have v final is equal to 5.14 meters per second, and you notice that the units are within the acceptable units of momentum, meters per second, and that's the velocity after the objects they collide and they move together. All right, let's look at another question. Here is the explosion recoil problem. You've got a 2 kg object explodes into two pieces. That means it was a stationary. That wasn't, the object was not moving, okay? And piece A, which is 0.5 kg, moves right at 12 meters per second. So I drew a diagram here that you can see. We want to find the velocity of piece B. That makes sense to think about that is moving to the left. But we can see this because of its vector, it will have to give us that direction through our calculation. So first thing we have to do, we're going to write up all the information that we have, and notice that I have done that. Now, the momentum before the explosion is 0 because you have the initial velocity is 0. All right. So we know that momentum before PB4 is equal to 0. But P after, we have two objects. So we have to say that is equal to, must equal to, that the addition of the two, the momentum of object A after the explosion and momentum of the object B. Now let's look at what is the momentum of object A, and that's very simple. We just go 0.50 kg times the speed 12 meters per second of that object, the first object, and the answer in here will be 6.0 kg meters per second. That's the momentum of object A. All right, simple as that. Now remember that the momentum before of explosion must equal to moment after, and momentum before was 0. So if PA is 6.0 kg meters per second, the momentum of the object A, the momentum of object B must be negative 6.0 kg meters per second because they must be 0. That's the momentum before, right? So now that we have this, we can now go ahead and write up the momentum formula for the object B, which would be M1B, which is 1.50 kg. We assume that whatever is left of that explosion, one was 0.5 kg, so the other one would be 1.5 kg, right? And then times the velocity of the B, 1B, and that is equal to negative 0.0 kg meters per second. Okay, and let's do the math in here. So velocity now will become negative 4.0 meters per second, and notice that what that means is the direction. that means moving to the left. And that's what that shows. And this is the very proof of the fact that momentum is a vector. So let's summarize the lesson. We have momentum P equal to mv, that's the quantity of the movement, and then momentum is conserved in collision and explosion in a closed system. Okay, and then of course we have to use vector sign, positive and negative, which way the direction goes. And then of course remember, in a collision we have two types. We have inelastic collisions, objects stick together, and elastic collision, that objects bounce off of each other. All right, now make sure you go back to each of these questions again, and don't forget again, check out the quiz in the description below. All right, check out the next lesson in the series that will be impulse.